lasting residual control, stronger stands, and faster canopy closure. So your soybeans can surge all season. And on the yield monitor at harvest, ask your retailer for Tendovo today. Always read and follow label instructions.
The stakes are high this season, and the competition fierce. Nematodes and disease. These guys don't play fair. With your yield on the line, you can either get lucky or you can stack the deck. With Victrado soybean seed treatment featuring Timerium technology, it's your ace in the hole to flush out royal pains like nematodes, SDS, and red crown rot. Victrado soybean seed treatment. Read them and reap. Always read and follow label instructions.
Hey, it's Shane from Highway 51 Exchange, your mower and equipment service pros just south of Clinton. Click our banner ad on DeWittDailyNews.com or give us a call to schedule your free pickup and delivery today. Highway 51 Exchange.
This winter, your to-do list should include hot cocoa, and that's about it. At Hickory Point Garden Homes, snow removal and winter upkeep are already handled so you can enjoy an easier winter. Schedule a tour today by clicking their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Here's Clinton Save-A-Lot owner Dave Jackson on how he works to save you money every day.
I know the retails at the stores indicator probably better than most of the people in the stores know. I monitor this closely so customers do not have to. And then you don't have to spend $40 or $30 driving round trip at 60 cents a mile to Decatur or Lincoln or Bloomington. That's real numbers. It's 60, 70 cents a mile to drive your car.
And as Clinton Save-A-Lot owner Dave Jackson always says,
hope to see you soon.
Hello, I'm Dr. Seuster with Covenant Animal Clinic. We're thrilled to sponsor the Adopt a Pet page on DeWittDailyNews.com. Simply look for the icon beside the masthead and you'll discover all the lovable cats and dogs at DeWitt County Animal Shelter, hoping to find their perfect family. While you're there, you can even complete an adoption application right online. Please help us share the message about these wonderful animals who are ready for a loving home. After all, a happy pet is a healthy pet.
Here's Hart Media Group owner Matt Hart talking about the Hart Media Group's continued commitment to local news, sports, and agriculture.
And at the end of the day, we're going to cover your local news. We're going to be dedicated to agriculture. Ag is such a huge part of our industry. We're obviously, if you're tuning in the radio, you know that. You're going to see that in our news, but then you're also going to see that local sports coverage as well as the local news coverage as well.
Find WHOW 1520 on Facebook, Instagram, and on TikTok.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio today is Jack Hart, founder of ILSportsWire, and our colleague here at WHOW. How are you, Jack?
I'm doing pretty well this morning, Seth.
Yeah, thanks for getting up early and coming to Clinton. Appreciate that. Yeah, very good. Well, I tell you what, Jack, ILSportsWire, let's just start with the basics. Remind us, ILSportsWire folks have most likely seen the clips on their social medias, which is obviously the purpose. But remind us what ILSportsWire is all about.
Yeah, ILSportsWire is your digital sports platform for high school sports in this area. We're going to the games. We're taking a camera. We're saying, okay, here's a score, what's happening during the games. We're getting those clips. Then we're taking those back. We're editing them, taking your main big plays from the game, posting them then on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and as well as ILSportsWire.com.
Sure. So now take us back, because this is obviously a relatively new venture, but comes along with the change in ownership at the station. So take us back to the beginning. When did this get started, and how are things going, I guess?
Yeah, so it started back first week of football season, which actually is only about five and a half months ago. And it's kind of surreal how fast it's taken off in the last couple months. But we started off with football, doing Taylorville sports, Clinton sports, and then we started to expand. And it just has taken off and expanded to many high schools in the area. People are known where we're at now, knowing what we're located at, and really was saying, okay, we want to do something different for sports and take it to the next level. We love our radio. We love the radio behind it. But how can we get people to visualize what's going on at the game? Mm-hmm. How can we take the big touchdown play, the three-point shot, the buzzer beaters? How can we take that and post it onto Facebook, Instagram, or on ILSportsWire.com so people can go back the next day and share it and say, hey, this is what little Johnny did at the game last night, and everyone can see it from anywhere in the world. And that's the cool thing is you can take something from such a small high school in a small town area and throw it anywhere to say, here, you can watch this worldwide.
And I have really appreciated the pivot that we've done, or you've done with us in, okay, we had Clinton boys and girls go to state in golf, right? And we were like, okay, let's go be at the golf tournament. And while that was new for us, we were still there. And I think there's just a lot of value in being where our teams are at. And by the way, we should mention, who are we covering? What, like ILSportsWire, who are you following right now?
Yeah, and a lot of people ask me that question and say, who are we covering? Why are you covering certain areas? I'll start up right here. Clinton Maroon Sports, we follow them. We try to get to as many sports as possible. As you said, we've gone out to cross country this fall, a little bit of golf. We try to be in as many places we want to. With the schedule and trying to be at we have a couple main sports. We follow Monticello Sages Sports. We're there for their golf as well. Any type of Sages Sports over here. Then we own radio stations over in Taylorville, so we try to stay around the Taylorville area, looking at Shelbyville, Taylorville Tornado Sports, Pana Panther Sports, Rochester Rocket Sports. Rochester is very close to the Taylorville station. We're very appreciative there. I'm from Rochester as well, so we do well over there. And then a little bit of South Fork, Edinburgh. But we are looking to eventually here expand to more of that small town feel. And we just love the small towns around the big areas like your Springfield, Decatur. We're looking to bring more coverage to those small areas that never have really had that until now.
Yep. Let's go back to football season and just talk a little bit about the momentum that was built during football. Like you mentioned, it started small with Taylorville, with Rochester, Monticello, Clinton. Did we do Central A&M?
We did do Central A&M.
Yeah,
Central A&M. I forgot to mention that. Yep.
Yeah, we did a small handful of teams in football, and I'm just curious how much momentum was built during the football season and parlayed into basketball.
Yeah, I mean, football started out with mostly Taylorville, Central A&M, and Shelbyville for the first 3 weeks. Then we expanded to Clinton, Monticello. We did those 5 for a little bit of a while. And then we got down to about the playoffs. And I had a couple people from Pana reach out like, hey, we'd like to do coverage, had the sponsors for it. Now we cover Pana Sports. And then we kept going on. South Fork had a great 8-man football team, which is really cool to watch. Also, 8-man's different. So we covered South Fork, a little bit of them. But really, football was the backbone to, hey, we're going to take football and we're going to keep going on. And we went right into basketball. Now we're going to go right into baseball and softball in the spring. Volleyball is very important too. No one covered volleyball in the area. So all of our volleyball schools were getting, shown out there, where a lot of, news around the area never follows volleyball. It's very important girls sport. And there's a lot of good volleyball in the Christian County area and the Macon County area, and then up here in the DeWitt and Piatt counties.
Sure, absolutely. When it comes to how you operate, how are we able to be, like, it's you and I talking.
Yeah.
How are you able to get ILSportsWire to all these places?
Yeah, so we have a team. I have a team of about 5 people, 6 people who work under me, and I send them to games. I'm always at a different game. I like to make sure I'm spread at every high school. I'm not favoriting any high school. I like to spread myself around there. Trying to be at the most important games. And then we also have 5 people work under me. They'll go out there with the camera. They'll get the clips. They'll send the updates. They'll send me a write-up about what happened in the game. So we have 5 people. They work very hard. My team does an exceptional job. They're hardworking people. They've always make sure that they love the sports. A lot of, our local people, Lyman over Monticello is local to Monticello. Gavin and Clinton, he's local to Clinton. We want to make sure everything's local. And the more people that we can get out of these local areas and bring more light to the local aspect of these towns, the more inclusive and more community-based it is. And that's what I want to focus on is these small towns. We want to be full community-based. And that's why everyone we hire, everything we do is for those small towns. It's a local aspect that we love.
You know what? One thing I can speak to Monticello because I'm over there for radio broadcasting. And the nice thing about having Lyman over there is not only does he do a great job of getting just all the shots and all the angles, he knows everybody over there, and that goes to your point about the community-based aspect of it is you're not just sending out someone, that doesn't know the community. You're sending out people that know the administrators, they know the kids, they know the coaches, they know the student section. I think that's huge as well.
Yeah, and that's what I want for us and all of our employees is we don't want to be the media who goes there, grabs a first half clip, leaves, and says, here's the score of the game. We want to connect with the coaches, with the cheerleaders, with the student section, with the administration. That's why I'm always trying to meet new people, introduce myself to parents, introduce myself to teachers, administrators, all the students. And I think we do a really good job of saying, hey, we're here, we're your media, but we're also connecting with you and we're trying to bring light to you. We're not just going to be here saying, all right, we're just going to use you guys as a platform for our sports. No, we want to be there saying we are local. We want to bring light to local aspect. And these communities, they're so intertwined with each other that just brings an exciting spark that a lot of people never see, to see how close these communities and how much they support each other.
Yeah, like last night, Clinton and Mount Pulaski girls basketball. You know, Mount Pulaski's 20 minutes away. They traveled really well over here, and I know folks were looking forward to you being there, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's one thing I was just going to say is Mount Pulaski Clinton girls game last night was one of the best games I've probably seen all year. But Mount Pulaski, they were there an hour early, showing up, community support. Everyone was there. Same with Clinton. Clinton had the most girls, I think, at a girls basketball game in a long time. And everyone was there excited for it. And it was just the community aspect. The community is there supporting their teams, if that be girls basketball, boys basketball. We want to bring light to all of those amazing athletes that come out of these small communities. And nothing better than having your community there to support us. We want to be that local community news that can help support you, saying, hey, we're one of you. We're in this community. We're in these small towns. We want to connect with you. And that's what I think we do a really good job at. And that's what our main focus of, as our tagline is, it's local. We want everything to be local, and then we're going to stick to that.
That's Jack Hart. He's our guest on the in the studio this morning with ILSportsWire. And so, Jack, let's go back to just that video piece of it. You know, putting this out on social media. I always promote Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. What platform has been most successful for ILSportsWire so far?
I'd say Facebook and Instagram. So Facebook has done really well with, you know, the parents, the grandparents, kind of your older demographic, but actually is good with the young demographic as well, as your Instagram is getting more your students, your athletes, that younger demographic. So they really do different in a different aspects, which I do play around with both of them, trying to cater to both those audiences. But I mean, Instagram, we just had a video that I think I just checked 14 million views, 100 million likes. You probably have all seen it from Monticello versus Taylorville game. Those are the things that a small town like Taylorville or Monticello, they would have never seen that. Now it's a worldwide phenomenon. I have Overtime Sports, Barstool Sports, these main big media companies reaching out because they're seeing these highlights that we now are highlighting in these small towns. And I believe both Facebook and Instagram, they're great ways to get that stuff out there. And we hope to, you know, eventually just keep building off of that. Coming from the ILSportsWire website as well, we want to make sure we get everything on there. And we're hoping to revamp that website, keep it going, keep it flowing here for the next 2026-2027 season.
Does it surprise you that Facebook and Instagram have been your two biggest platforms? Like, I would have thought it would have been TikTok because that's where all the kids are at. I would have thought they would see their stuff there, and TikTok would have been bigger than the other two that have been the biggest.
Yeah, I'd say TikTok is very interesting because it's obviously a newer platform still. It's still figuring out its kinks. It's being different owners now. I know that for a fact. So it's a little different, but Instagram and Facebook, I guess, working intertwined with each other really help boost each other back and forth. Then TikTok's just a single platform. So it's kind of cool to see them work back and forth. And TikTok, I believe, is going to eventually shoot out. It just depends on when we get a viral video for TikTok. I think it's going to happen with time goes on that we will be popular on all of those platforms. And hopefully I want to have Twitter here in the next fall. I want to expand just getting as much information out there, as many videos out there for people to use and see, and just bringing more light to these communities.
I could be wrong. It feels like Twitter is not what it is not as popular as it used to be. I don't know. I could be totally wrong on that.
I've never used Twitter. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, okay.
I think Twitter is very important. I know a lot of people use it just to say, here's what the score is for the game and give you an update. So I think that would be what I would use Twitter for in the future, to say, hey, this is the update, the score on a Twitter basis that you can repost and see it. But other than that, I really like having the Facebook updates because you're getting the video and the score at the same time. And that's something different that people don't see. They say, oh, here's a box score, but here's actually what's going on live. You can kind of visualize it. And I'm a visual learner. I've always have been a visual learner. So I believe that visual aspect is key.
I just think being able to see the highlights is really the biggest thing, you know, and it adds a dynamic to our radio coverage. You know, people hear the call, they hear what happened on the radio, they know they're going to be able to see it. If they can't see it that night because of guys like yourself, Lyman, Gavin, posting them to the accounts in real time, they know they might see that highlight later on in the night or the next day on the ILSportsWire. So let's break, Jack. I'll tell you what, let's take a break. How do folks, again, follow ILSportsWire? Give us all the avenues.
Yeah, Facebook, ILSportsWire, Instagram, we're on there, TikTok, and then ILSportsWire.com. is one of your best ways. We have a lot of recaps that I post usually later at night. All of our videos, we try to get there in a good, speedy, fashionable way. Sometimes it's the next day, but we try to get that out as fast as we can on all those platforms.
That's Jack Hart, ILSportsWire, our guest in studio. More to come on the morning show.
WHOW.
AgriTalk is the radio talk show for American agriculture. Hi, everybody. I'm Chip Flory, your host. We join you weekday mornings from 10 until 11 on WHOW, on AM and FM, and on the WHOW streams. We provide farmers and ranchers with timely insights and information aimed at improving their operations. Join me, Chip Flory, weekdays at 10:06 on Central Illinois Ag Station, WHOW.
It's time to celebrate winter. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Farmer City. Yes, we have extra savings on all new Chevrolets this month to celebrate the winter season. See our inventory of Chevrolet Trailblazers, Blazers, and the efficient Trax. We also have a good selection of our 7-passenger Chevrolet Traverse and Tahoes. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. See our winter celebration savings at BaumChevyBuick.com right from the start.
DeWitt County's #1 source for local news is on the air and online 24 hours a day. The latest local news stories are heard every hour on Central Illinois' news station, the Big 1520 AM and 92.3 FM WHOW. Stream live at DeWittDailyNews.com. They're also heard every hour on the station that's your easy choice, 95.9 FM WEZC. And to read the latest local news on your electronic device, including tablets, iPhones, and smartphones, go to DeWittDailyNews.com. DeWitt County's #1 source for local news is on the air, online, 24 hours a day.
If the flu's got you down, the Warner Hospital and Health Services Walk-In Clinic can help you feel better fast. CEO Paul Skowron inviting you to make us your backup plan to better health. Find out more by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Again, Jack Hart, ILSportsWire, in studio with us today. And Jack, just one thing before we kind of move along. You know, folks see the ILSportsWire stuff on our Facebook page, and sometimes we share it on our Instagram. Just to kind of give us a reminder that ILSportsWire, Hart Media Group, WHOW, all intertwined at this point, right?
Yeah, and that's something we try to focus is Hart Media is our main staple. It's the top. And then HOW and ILSportsWire, they work together. So me and Seth are always working together. If it be radio, we want to support our radio as much as our digital platforms. So I try to intertwine them as best as we can because we're all one company, we're one community, and we're all there to connect people. And that's what Hart Media's logo and saying is, hey, we're connecting people, if that be on the radio or on digital media.
Sure. All right. So we are really, basketball is just taking off in terms of ILSportsWire and its popularity. We had Monticello and Monticello on Saturday. Monticello, Indiana came to Monticello, Illinois. And you were telling me a lot of those folks knew who we were. I wonder if just the Monticello, maybe they saw some of that just because of the name, but also I know Lyman, we talked about the networking piece. Lyman was networking with their fans and their players during that game. So they were looking forward to seeing their highlights on video afterwards. But with that said, basketball has just been, I think, enormously successful from an ILSportsWire standpoint. What say you?
It's been a crazy winter. It's been a lot of games, a lot of coverage, but it's been a complete success with basketball. And one of the things with Monticello, we were talking about, Monticello, Indiana, out-of-state team was excited to play Monticello State just because they knew we'd be there. And I think that's what's super exciting, saying, hey, we're going to be out of state, we're out of the area, but we get to play an ILSportsWire coverage team. That's exciting. And that's something I love to hear. And Lyman does a great job saying, hey, we're going to connect with those opposing fans. And that's something everyone says is we cover Monticello State Sports, but I'm still going to post the opponents. I'm going to go through the opponent's stuff. I'm going to put all that out there because we want to cover the entire game and, really shine light on all the athletes who are playing there, because I know Monticello, Indiana, and all those teams aren't even the area they're playing. Our teams are going to be highlighted. And that's important for us to say, hey, we're going to be there covering the entire game.
Sure. Well, speaking of covering the entire game, it's going to get to, we're getting to an interesting place where we're going to have a lot of moving pieces with the postseason basketball schedule coming up. What can you tell us about ILSportsWire and its postseason schedule and coverage?
Yeah, I've been going through the girls' schedule. It came out last Friday. One of the most exciting teams in the area right now is Clinton Maroons girls basketball. They have a regional coming up. They'll play either Sangamon Valley or Maroa Forsyth at El Paso Gridley next week. So watch out for your Maroons. The boys will be having their regionals released on Thursday at 4:00. We are going to be there at every regional game possible. There's a lot of moving pieces to it. We're going to be there covering every game, and we're hopefully going to be covering state for both girls and boys basketball. Even if your team or our team are not playing there, we're hoping to be at state to bring that coverage to you all. So keep watching out. We got an exciting couple weeks coming up here. I'm excited for it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of work, but we're excited. My team's excited. And we're excited for some wonderful postseason basketball that we're going to be covering.
Sure. And of course, we're getting into baseball, softball, track and field. I know there's some soccer in the spring as well. What's your plans for the spring?
Yeah, a lot of people have been asking me, are we going to be covering track, soccer, baseball, softball? So our main sports we're looking at is baseball, softball, but we're going to be at some track meets. We're going to be at some track meets on the weekend. I grew up, I'm a college soccer player. I'm a big soccer fan. We're going to be at several girls' soccer games. We're going to be covering as much sports as we can because that's what we're there for, and that's what we're hoping to do. And we're just going to jump right into that. I know that state basketball ends, and the next week is when baseball season starts.
Yep.
So there's going to be no break for us, no break for our teams, but that's the way we like it. We have the same thing with football and volleyball for basketball. We're just going to keep the ball rolling until summertime, and we might get a month off in the summer, but that's going to be a lot of previews, bringing coaches in, interviews, and getting excited for the 2026-2027 season.
That's what I'm looking forward to, is getting out and seeing some of these teams and coaches that, we get to talk to on the phone, but I never get to see them in person unless, one of our teams overlaps with them. So that'll be a lot of fun to get out and meet them in person and do those sorts of things. And I think we're going to take a lot of maybe some of the things you see in the preseason. We did a little bit with it with basketball, but baseball, I'm really looking forward to that preseason stuff. And I think we're going to maybe do a lot of that in the fall with football, right? We're going to maybe do a lot of traveling and videoing in the preseason. Correct?
Yeah, the preseason, obviously with football being moved up a week, there's going to be a lot more, not much wiggle room between baseball ending in June, getting into that, mid-August there. But during that months that people are saying, what are you guys going to do? What are you going to be working on? I'm going to be having interviews with all the players, with the coaches. There's 77 football that we'll be out covering. I know there's volleyball summer leagues to be covering. We're going to find every sport to be at. We're going to find ways to be at things. And we're going to be covering. I know there's some soccer in the summer. So if you think that we're taking a break during the summer, we're not. We're going to be out there. It's a year-round thing. My team's excited for it. And summer, it will be maybe a 1 week off break, but from there on, we will be taking it and getting excited for the fall season. We have some fun football coming up here. I know we have some good teams. I just talked to Coach Bass last night with Clinton Maroons. He's excited to have a great season here, and there's only one way up for the Clinton Maroons next fall.
Sure. I just want to say real quick, Jack, that your ILSportsWire concept has allowed us the opportunity to expand what we're doing on the news side with some video there, obviously video in studio that folks, if they're watching on Facebook or YouTube, expansion of what we're doing there. So, it's not just been ILSportsWire, at least up here. It's been, we're bleeding this into news and local events and all those things. So it's been a great partnership with yourself and your father, Matt Hart, and the Hart Media Group. So looking forward to it all. Again, how do folks learn about ILSportsWire?
Yeah, to learn about it, once again, go to Facebook, Instagram, ILSportsWire, then ILSportsWire.com. You can check us out on there as well. We're excited for the future of WHOW and what's going to come in the 2026-2027 season.
Very good, sir. Thanks for your time as always. Jack Hart, ILSportsWire, our guest in studio. Network news on the way.
WHOW.
With SRN News.